Good day, everyone, and thanks for joining us as we discuss ISS National Lab Research Announcement, or NLRA 2023-10, Igniting Innovation, Science and Space to Cure Diseases on Earth. This solicitation is focused on leveraging access to space to improve our ability to prevent, diagnose, and treat cancer and other human diseases on Earth. I'm Patrick O'Neill, Public Affairs and Outreach Lead for the ISS National Laboratory, and I'll be one of your hosts for today's webinar. The purpose of this webinar is to help educate those of you who might be interested in submitting a Step 1A concept summary for the Igniting Innovation ISS National Lab Research Announcement. Please note that this webinar is being recorded and will be available on the ISS National Lab website following today's live presentation. Additionally, at the end of this webinar, there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions. Okay, so let's get a little into the background and history of the ISS National Lab. The Center for the Advancement of Science and Space, or CASIS, is the manager for the ISS National Lab and has served as such since 2011 through a cooperative agreement with NASA. In fact, last year NASA extended this cooperative agreement for CASIS to manage the ISS National Lab through 2027. Each year, the ISS National Lab puts forth a variety of research announcements focused on targeted areas, soliciting project concepts from researchers, companies, innovators, and educators alike. ISS National Lab research announcements enable greater access to the ISS, a unique platform in low Earth orbit, bringing scientific value back to people here on Earth, building commerce in space, and inspiring the next generation of researchers and explorers. And with that, I'd like to introduce Dr. Davide Marotta, Program Director for In-Space Biomanufacturing for the ISS National Lab. Davide, good afternoon. Excited to learn more about this opportunity.
Thank you very much, Patrick. Today is a very exciting day because it gives us a chance to provide some insight into this research announcement. So let's get into today's presentation and dig a bit deeper. Features of the space environment available through the ISS National Lab may induce a vast array of changes in organisms, ranging from viruses and bacteria, including global alterations in gene expression and three-dimensional aggregations of cells into tissue-like structures. Microgravity, extreme conditions, and a unique vantage point may benefit a wide variety of focus areas, including pharmaceutical development, biotechnology, tissue engineering, disease modeling, and many more. Space-based research allows the study of underlying biological and physical processes whose effects are masked by dominant, gravity-dependent forces. During today's webinar, we'll dive into the research announcement process and look at some existing ISS National Lab research examples, then provide a short overview of a few relevant facilities on board of the ISS, and then highlight both the process and timeline of this research opportunity. Then, as Patrick mentioned, we'll have a question and answer session. With Research Announcement 2023-10, Igniting Innovation, Science in Space to Cure Diseases on Earth, we aim to accelerate discoveries leading to preclinical translation and clinical application for cancer and other diseases. We also seek to foster collaborations. This is a community effort to develop game-changing Earth or space-based products. And last but not least, we hope to develop the workforce, the future generation of microgravity-based scientists. Before joining the ISS National Lab, I experienced firsthand the necessity of an infrastructure for scientists who want to dedicate their life and work to researching LEO for terrestrial benefits. We aim to leverage microgravity to develop population and personalized medicine, which aligns with our nation's priorities, as stated in the Cancer Moonshot Initiative, which was started by the Obama administration and revamped by the Biden administration. You are probably wondering what the difference is between Igniting Innovation and other research announcements. Igniting Innovation is a multi-year, multi-flight ISS National Lab solicitation in partnership with NASA's Division of Biological and Physical Sciences, BPS. For Igniting Innovation, a technology roadmap is required, and we are seeking proposals that have funds provided by the offeror or a funding partner that match or exceed the funds requested through the solicitation. In particular, we are seeking proposals in the following areas: accelerated cancer and other human disease models in microgravity, with improved clinical relevance and true representation of diversity. Those models should focus on patient-derived organoids for drug response and resistance studies, microphysiological systems that includes tumor microenvironment for the development of immunotherapies, early disease detections and target specificity that explore the production of micro and nanoparticles that can be used for early detection, automation and standardization of crystallization processes to develop automation and standardization techniques for crystallizing small and large molecules. Novel approaches to increase clinical relevance, to target and develop computational and non-computational approaches to increase statistical significance and clinical relevance.
Davide, it sounds like you're looking for research that might drive either economic benefits directly or indirectly.
Absolutely. If you are familiar with technology readiness levels, you should be considering the maturation of technology from around TRL 4 or higher and looking to raise the TRL to 6 or higher. And your Step 1A concept summary should address your current TRL and expected final TRL. Having a line of sight for commercial application is a good idea, enabling a commercial offering to an end user after you conclude your work on the ISS. There are several examples of projects that have leveraged ISS for research focused on cancer, aiming to develop a commercial product. For example, a project on cancer modeling uses an accelerated disease model to preclinically validate an automated tumor-on-a-chip system to grow patient-derived cancer cells for testing chemotherapeutic drugs and monitoring toxicity. Or a project on cancer therapy drug development that aims to advance understanding of drug formulation for an FDA-approved cancer drug toward improving the drug delivery method and patient quality of life. There is another example of a project on cancer detection that seeks to improve a technology to isolate specific cell types from a mixed population. Microgravity allows evaluation of the process for making the microbeads used in the technique, enabling optimization of the beads for cell sorting while preserving cell function. With these examples in mind, let's talk about the facilities on board the ISS that can support projects awarded through this research opportunity.
Where might applicants find information on hardware and facilities that are available to support their research goals?
The ISS National Lab offers state-of-the-art hardware and internal and external facilities, providing a wide range of research equipment and systems for your R&D in LEO. I encourage applicants to review the facilities using the links provided here and also in the research announcement instructions. And please reach out to us with any question about available hardware and facilities. In addition, we ask all applicants to identify an implementation partner they would like to work with and start a dialogue about project goals. Implementation partners are organizations that have expertise in translating proposed work for the ISS environment. It's important to connect with an implementation partner during Step 1A concept summary preparation. Please visit our implementation partner database and begin engaging in conversations with them. You will want to get a realistic estimate of what your project might cost, especially if you are new to space. So a conversation with an implementation partner would be a very helpful way to start. Since we are talking about cost, this is a very perfect time to provide some award information. Funding for this specific research announcement is $5 million, with expectation of 2 to 4 awards. Funding may be allocated to support all aspects of the project, including principal investigator costs, project management, hardware development, and implementation partner mission integration costs. Launch to the ISS, the cost of any crew resources that you may need to perform your experiment, and resources to get your samples or your data home to Earth will be completely covered as well.
Thanks for that deep dive on funding, Davide. I'm sure most viewers are now wondering, how does someone even get considered for funding through this research announcement?
Igniting Innovation has a 3-step submission process that begins with a Step 1A concept summary. The concept summary is a 2-3 page short summary of your proposal, which is due by September 26, 2023. Take your time and read through all of the Step 1A concept summary instructions. During the concept summary review, we conduct a high-level review for operational feasibility and for scientific and technical scope, and we also do a preliminary compliance review. If you pass the step, we will contact you and invite you to submit Step 1B. This is a new step that we introduced, the Technology Roadmap, due by November 29, 2023. And if you pass Step 1B, we will invite you to submit a Step 2 full proposal by March 8, 2024. Here, you can see the timeline for the solicitation. This research announcement opened on August 8. The Step 1A concept summary is due September 26. And for those invited to submit a Step 1B technology roadmap, the deadline is November 29. Those who pass Step 1B will be invited to submit a Step 2 full proposal by March 8, 2024.
Thanks, Davide. Is it fair to say that what you've covered so far regarding this research announcement is all detailed in the downloadable documents and instructions available on the 2023-10 Research Opportunity webpage listed below?
Yes, everything is there. In fact, there is more details in those documents than what I'm sharing with you now.
Excellent. Is there also information available regarding the evaluation process?
Yes, details on the evaluation methodology can be found in the proposal evaluator instructions for this research announcement, which is one of the documents contained in the zipped file available for download. As you prepare your Step 1A concept summary for submission, we recommend you keep in mind a few tips. Use the available resources. The current opportunity web pages have helpful resources. Connect with the implementation partner early. The scope of work and budget that you receive from your selected implementation partner is critical. Write to the evaluation criteria. The instructions outline the evaluation criteria that will be used to evaluate your concept summary. Address all the evaluation criteria. Proposals that do not address all of the criteria or address them poorly are very likely to receive low evaluation ratings. Submit a compliant concept. Ensure that your research objectives are within the scope of this specific research announcement. In conclusion, please visit the solicitation page, read the guidelines to get familiar with the process. Prepare your concept summary and submit it on time, and get ready to make a difference on Earth by bringing your R&D to low Earth orbit. And that's Research Announcement 2023-10. Our team is here to support you. Our website has all the solicitation documents and instructions, as well as a host of resources to help you submit the best concept summary possible. Remember, we are available to answer any question you might have. You can email us at any time.
Thanks, Davide. To our audience, remember that the goal of ISS National Lab activities is to bring value and impact back to the U.S. economy and taxpayers by benefiting humanity. Davide, it has been a pleasure talking with you today.
The pleasure is mine. So what's next on the agenda?
In just a minute, we'll get to sit in on a short discussion with some of the key players related to this research announcement. And then we'll be taking questions from you, our webinar attendees. So stay tuned, and thank you for attending. Good afternoon, and once again, thank you very much for attending today's webinar for NLRA 2023-10, Igniting Innovation, Science and Space to Cure Disease on Earth. As mentioned with Davide just a few seconds ago, we will be having some Q&A, but before we get into that, we will have a short and important conversation planned to give a little more insight into this announcement. So with that, I would like to introduce Dr. Michael Roberts, the Chief Science Officer for the ISS National Lab, who will lead a chat with Dr. Lisa Carnell, Director for NASA's Biological and Physical Sciences Division, as we highlight this joint opportunity. Dr. Mike, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Patrick. It's truly an honor to be here today and to have the opportunity to speak to our audience of listeners out there. We are very honored to be joined by Dr. Lisa Carnell, the director of NASA's Biological and Physical Sciences Division. I wanted to take just a moment to encapsulate what you heard from Davide and Patrick in the introduction. This is a new step on the process to increasing access to space, not only to address the goals and objectives of NASA's exploration goals and furthering the human exploration of space, but we are continuing to make great strides in the utilization of low Earth orbit to make real world transformative outcomes that impact our daily lives here on Earth. And first and foremost among those in the focus of this solicitation is utilizing the microgravity environment and the differences, the unique environment that exists on the International Space Station to offer opportunities for furthering humanity's goals here on Earth. And what could be more important than improving disease outcomes and the technologies that we use to support those? We are fortunate in this solicitation to be joined by biological and physical sciences at NASA. So I wanted to take a moment and turn it over to Lisa to speak about the goals of biological and physical sciences research program and how they are contributing to the furtherance of this solicitation. Lisa?
Hi, Mike. Thank you. And again, thank you so much for the opportunity to join you in this exciting endeavor to, address science in space to cure diseases on Earth. It's a very exciting opportunity, not just for BPS, for ISSNL, I think, but for the whole United States and actual world for how we might be able to use that spaceflight environment to address some really key important areas to tackle human health responses to diseases. And, one really exciting aspect of this that I think is important is, this really aligns well with the BPS vision to, our goals are to pioneer scientific discovery, which we will be doing in this capacity. And it also supports NASA's exploration goals to help, improve the health for crew going on long duration spaceflight missions. So everything that we learn here has value to help facilitate those exploration goals and missions, leading into what's really important. It's benefiting health here on Earth as well. So I'm very excited to see the type of research that comes in and looking forward to this partnership with the ISS National Lab. So thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Lisa. I'd like to emphasize too, this is, as Lisa mentioned, this effort aligns very well with past efforts, not only in pioneering scientific discovery in space, but biological and physical sciences has been leading an effort focused on thriving in deep space, the TIDES program. And of course, in order for humanity to thrive in deep space, we have to continue to thrive here on Earth. So this is, again, an example not only of the democratization of space for different communities of investigators, not only those who support NASA's exploration goals, but broadening that community to brand new communities of investigators. So in line with previous partnerships that NASA has had and continues to have with the National Institutes of Health and the National Science Foundation and the ISS National Lab also has those relationships. These synergies of interest and alignment of portfolios offer brand new opportunities for these communities to get out there. And as Davide mentioned, we look forward to new communities forming, new partnerships forming, and new approaches to the utilization of space that lead to transformational outcomes in space that directly benefit us here on Earth. Lisa, I'd like to give you the last word. I understand that the decadal survey is due to be released very soon. If you'd like to speak a moment about that.
Thank you. Thank you again for letting me get a plug on that, because we are very excited. This will be the first decadal survey that we get since the Biological and Physical Sciences Division moved over to the Science Mission Directorate. And as many of you may have seen, or maybe not yet, an email was released earlier today that is from the National Academies that there will be a public hearing on September 12th at 10:30 a.m. So that is open to the public. You can register online or you can attend in person in Washington, D.C. at the Keck Center. So we're incredibly excited about that, and we can't wait to see how the opportunities and efforts that we've been undertaking with you as partners will align with what the recommendations are within our decadal survey. So appreciate that. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Lisa. And again, thanks to the community for joining us today. We look forward to learning more from the community about how you seek to ignite innovation and help us forward scientific discovery to benefit the Cancer Moonshot and focus areas related to other disease programs. With that, I'd like to kick it back over to Patrick O'Neill. Patrick.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Mike and Dr. Carnell. Appreciate you both for stopping by and chatting a little bit more about this collaboration. It goes without saying how excited we are collectively to work with NASA and the BPS team on this announcement. So looking forward to much more on this.